Oh, nice.
Where's the other thing? Thought I had.
Those are pretty cool.
Because the last show we had, we did get hit with one of the trailers, but they didn't take us down or anything. But
Huh.
we did get hit with it. But I can't remember what trailer it was.
Stupid.
Usually they tell me, but I can't remember. So, anywho, I'm not very prepared today. So,
Have you watched a show on Netflix called America Primeval?
I haven't, but I was told about it or I heard about it, and I heard it's pretty good.
It is. It is.
It is. What's it about?
It's basically the coming to the west, going west of America. You know, when the settlers. So it's it's about the Mormons, really. The Mormon, like how they're it's all
Settling in
based.
Utah?
Yeah, it all based around Utah. Yeah, and how they were trying to just keep everybody off their land because they won't claim it for themselves.
Right.
And then there's another there's side stories to it too, like the girl and a boy need to get to a certain area, you know. But it's mainly about the Mormons. They had our own little militia, you know,
Really?
taking out, trying to make, yeah, they're tax people who come into their land and try to, we're just passing by, and they're like, well, we still need to pay a tax according to the governor, and they're like, F your governor, and then they come back the night of and they just killed them all. Yeah,
Really?
it was. Yeah, not to spoil it. That's not too much of a spoiler because there's so much death.
Right.
There's so much death in this damn show. It's cool. We just finished. It's only once. It's just one season, but it's a cool another take on the West or the Wild West.
So it takes. Is it the Wild West or is it like?
Well, so yeah, because it was there's not all the territories acclaimed, I guess, is what you could. Well, no, they did say
Oh,
California. Did they say California? I don't know. It didn't tell you what time period it takes place in. Doesn't give you an exact
oh, it
date.
doesn't give you a date,
No, but you just kind of, I just kind of guess on what it would.
right?
When I don't know when the Mormons came over or came this far over.
Interesting.
Uh, yeah, no, it's a good show though. I don't
Yeah, I've
want to
been told to
spoil
watch it. Maybe
too
I'll
much
start
of it.
watching it. I don't. I haven't watched anything new. I've been kind of like looking, but
Yeah, there isn't really nothing new. I mean, it sucks when like
yeah,
one
because
show that you like goes away and then you gotta like wait a whole nother year for the next season for whatever it is, like, but
right.
we do have the boys, I think in April or June. I think it's this
Yeah.
year.
Well, I'm not. I don't watch The Voice anymore. So,
Oh, you don't?
uh, they got too like political. So I don't.
Yeah.
There. That's.
Where's Chris? You didn't.
He didn't say anything, so I don't know. All right, letting people know that we're on. But yeah. I'm trying to think. I've been watching a lot of old movies when I can.
We had
Uh,
we had a show in Chico. Like, on
yeah,
Friday.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
How'd that go?
she did some what do you call it? Facebook Live or something like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I tried doing that because I went to a show on Friday and I tried doing that. Nah, it didn't
Yeah.
work out. I mean, some of it worked out, but then some of it didn't because the volume's just so damn fucking loud
Yeah.
that I don't know
Well, I
how
don't think I
they're
told you what
doing it.
happened to me when we played in Paradise, where we're in our third set, maybe 3, 4 songs in, and I just started feeling, "Grr," I'm going down. Like I had to sit on
Oh,
my amp first, and then I was like, oh shit, and I'm trying to get Scott's attention. I'm like, Scott, I'm going down. And then I said, F it. I just took the guitar off and laid on the fucking stage. I was either that or I was gonna pass out, and so we had to end the show early. And
yeah,
then
take a break.
we ended the show early that time. And so, but 2 weeks later, we did our show Friday, and that was a 4 hour show. So we just made 3 long sets, stretch it out. I made it though. I was fine. But
We should probably bring a chair on stage just in case,
well, I was thinking I did a treatment that day, right? It was a Saturday. I did a treatment, and then I pulled off more than the weight than I normally, just maybe like 0.02. It was
Right.
just a little bit, and then I didn't drink anything, no water,
Wow.
nothing, and I went through two. So I kind of was. I think I was dehydrated, and it was just
It could have been.
my body was like no. And then I opened a Red Bull on top of that in that third
Oh,
set.
yeah.
And then I started getting all weird, and I was like, "Oh!" I only took one drink of it, but it was all bad. I had basically dehydrated myself.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it were me, I probably wouldn't have taken anything off and just cleaned the blood and then call it good. And then the
Yeah,
next day take some off. Because like the way I go when I go in, I barely take off a liter
yeah,
nowadays. Since I was sick with COVID, because I technically never tested positive. But since then, I don't ever um pull off more than a liter, if that. It's usually
yeah,
like 0.7, you know? And
yeah.
then they ask me, do I want to pull it off or not pull it off? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but they have to mandatory, I think, pull off 0.5. Just
Yeah, it's either that or
because
point. But it's the fluid, the saline. Yeah,
yeah, because it has to go through
yeah,
something
yeah.
so it won't
Because
clot.
you're getting fluid back regardless. Yes.
Yeah. So and then I'm like, okay, you can do that. Because if they pull more than that, I feel like crap, and I mean, I'm already sleeping a lot, so I'll
Yeah,
sleep all day and all night and
I
everything.
know.
I'm just
I know.
horrible. And I'm trying to figure this shit out because I'm still trying to figure out how I can sleep the 3 to 4 hour, 3.5 when I'm there, and then turn around and feel, you know, not feel tired.
All right.
I'm
No,
still freaking tired.
I know.
And then I had my transplant thing this week on Wednesday, and I was talking to him about it, and they said it takes a lot. He says he's not going to make it, so
Oh, Chris isn't right.
he's still working. So yeah, I met with them and went through a lot of stuff that I didn't go through the last time. So and just kind of explain that they said, and I kept telling them, I'm forgetting a lot of stuff and it's getting worse and
Yep.
it's gonna happen. And I'm like, my memory's already bad, but it's getting worse. And, I mean, someone could tell me something and I'll forget about it 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I know.
literally. I mean,
I have to use my I have to use my phone for things to remember, like doctor appointments.
I do
To
that
go
yeah,
for a
but
lot of shit. I have to.
she'll send me a list of things that I need to do or tell me something, and then I read it and then I forget about it still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't, and it's not her fault really. You know, she gets frustrated and whatnot. And she's like, I just told you. And I'm like, she's even written down. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so that's been fun.
Yep.
And they said it's just not going to get any better. But they did agree to at least listen to me about taking them out because they're so uncomfortable, you know. Because I told them, they asked me if I was going to see anybody else. And I told them, I said, well, I told them the story of there's somebody at my clinic who went to get a transplant, had my same doctor, not that they went to a different hospital, but they have my same nephrologist, right? So, and then when she got in there to get her transplant, they said, oh, she's got PKD. We can't take it unless they come out. We're not putting it in. So they passed her up. And my doctor was pissed and whatnot and everything. And so I kind of explained that to them, you know, because they won't take them out otherwise. You know, they're just like,
No, they don't. That's what they told me. They leave them in there.
yeah, well, they're gonna possibly take them out. So, but it has to be done before a transplant is even. It could be months, it could be a year, it could be anything. But we're gonna do closer to my date, I guess you'd say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Closer because they don't want to be on dialysis with no kidneys for 2 years or any of that shit, right? So, but at least they listened to me, you know. And then I said, okay, this is what I want. I want you, when you take them out, I want them weighed and taking pictures of them. She's like, well, you're going to have to leave a note with my nurse. So I'll remember to do that. And I'm like, how could you not remember to do that? What are you going to do with them? Throw them away? You know?
They got a big trash bin on the side.
So apparently, I was just like,
Trash
okay,
organs
man.
here.
But it's funny because they ask me, do you bleed? Are you got urine in the blood? I'm like, no. So we do a physical and they're pushing around. What do you think happens the next time I go pee?
You have blood in your urine.
Oh, I'm bleeding.
They ruptured something.
And I'm kind of like uncomfortable. Well, whenever they touch them, it's very tender, right? It's like, oh, ow. So I don't know why it doesn't do it when I touch them. Maybe I just don't touch them in the right spot. But yeah, I was just like, thanks, guys. So for a few days, I won't say a few days, a few hours after they did that, I was pissing blood. And I'm like, shit. You know? I'm like, of course, you know. And then I had blood work taken that day. And it comes back and it says your TB test is inconclusive. And I'm like, what are you talking about? TB? I'm like, where would I get fucking TB at?
Yeah.
You know, especially for it to even be positive.
Especially these days, this day and age.
They've had an outbreak here in Kansas. When I say outbreak, from what I read, it's like 5 people. So I don't understand that, but that there's possibly more. But even that, where am I going to get TB?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I just tested for that when I went into the clinic the first time I had dialysis.
Yeah, I feel like I had to get tested too. I think
that's mandatory test. They made,
and then you have to get a what do you call it? Hepatitis.
Yep, they did that one too.
Shot
because they have to make sure. So
you
know, and I'm like, so between then and there, where would I have gotten or come close to contact? Because I'm not close to anybody ever. So you know, anyway, so I'm annoyed. So now I have to go to the Center of Disease Control and have some extensive tests done.
Extensive tests.
I guess they take a blood test, skin test, and an X-ray. So
more blood.
And I'm like, yeah, they'll do. I'm just like, I'm almost saying screw them all. You know, what the hell?
It's a lot of hoops.
It is. And then of course, you know, I lectured by 5 fucking different doctors and nurses about smoking and this and that, and which that has to be done. I knew that. I'm not stupid, but I'm being lectured 5 fucking times. You know.
Yep. I know that.
I had my mother-in-law with me because she's my special care patient.
Right. Yeah. Same with my mother-in-law.
Yeah. So she came, and she was pretty overwhelmed as well because there's a lot of information thrown at you.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I did find out a few things that my insurance is freaking awesome. I mean, it pays pretty much 100%
Well, that's
of
good.
everything, even my meds for the first 2 years.
Nice.
And then I have to get Medicare, so Medicare will go over
Yeah, that's what I
my
have.
main,
Yeah.
my other one will be underneath, and my meds will be like $300 a month
Woo.
for, and those are for the
Rejection drugs. Yeah.
and that's standard for everybody. You know, they're expensive, even if so, because I guess your insurance can't take the load only for so long before Medicare comes in, and
Yeah.
then they go for 2 years, and then it switches back over. You know, so and then so just having Medicare is like $187 a month. You know, I don't know what it is on your side, but
Well, see, I'm on Social Security, so
so you're good.
and Medi-Cal and Medicare.
So okay, so you're not paying a dime.
No. Well, I pay a little bit on my like maybe $3 for meds, but
Oh,
that's affordable.
I would say because I hit my deductible like that, right? As soon as I'm on
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
that first payment, quarter payment for dialysis, I hit my deductible, so I don't pay nothing, which is fine. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have $3,000, but the center helps me out. You know, or they're going to as soon as I do all the paperwork.
Yeah, I know, because it's not cheap to go in the center. I remember I seen like the bill, they sent it to me for some reason when I used to go to DaVita. It was like 10 grand every time I sat in that chair.
It is.
And then that was just sitting in the chair, and then all the rest of the, the stuff they give you. And it was like, wow.
Yeah, it's insane. It's not cheap, that's for sure. So kids,
Oh,
take care of your
yeah.
bodies.
Take care. Yeah, exactly. Stay away from drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs.
Don't do
kids.
drugs.
Not that we're doing drugs, but anyway.
No.
Shit, the guy who's my neighbor chair, he's been gone for he was gone for 2 sessions, right? And then he came in yesterday, and I was talking to him, and he's like, I was in the hospital because I was hurting. So he went to the hospital, and then for some reason they end up doing like a chest X-ray for something. Because he was like having a hard time breathing or coughing or something. So they tested him, and they said, "Oh, you have fluid in your lungs, right?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." So they go and they said, "Oh, you might feel this," and they pull big out fucking needle and just pull out all
Right
this
in his
liquid.
chest.
And they pulled out 2 liters of
Wow.
liquid that's been in his lungs. And he said, "So how long has that been in there?" And they said, "Oh, about 2 years."
What?
Yeah.
So what, dialysis isn't working?
No, it's just something that I don't know. Nobody seems to know what, because I asked the same thing. I said, "Doesn't it pull out fluid?" And there's like, "Well, not when it gets into your lung." That was something else. He must have got a cold, got sick, or something.
But damn, 2 liters. That's a lot.
That's what I said.
A 2-liter bottle of water. That's it.
That's what I said. I said, was it like and it was black like coffee, he said. And I'm like, fuck, dude.
Does he feel a lot better?
Yeah, he does.
It's got to, right?
He was like, I could breathe, and I'm like, fuck, I sure hope so, hopefully you're not leaking anything where it's like seeping in or something.
Yeah.
But for it to be sitting in there for 2 years, and he's probably 5, I want to say 5, maybe 10 years older than I am,
Is he a smoker?
No.
So I wonder why it was black.
I don't know. That's crazy. Well, it's been in there so long. He said usually, like the doctor said, when they pull out liquid, it's clear. So the darker it is, the longer it's been in there. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is
interesting for sure. I wanted to ask him more questions, but I was kind of like, I don't want to.
I know. I know. I never talked to really any of the people in the chairs next to me in the DeVitas when I went to, but I always wanted to because I always just wanted to know what they're going through, just because.
Well, they call us the three amigos because we all show up. There's three of us that show up earlier in the morning, right? So there's only three of us, and then we have our tech and our nurse, and we depending on which nurse is there and which techs are there, we bullshit, because I'm friendlier with certain nurses than others.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
And with us three, they call us the three amigos. We're the first ones in, we're the first ones out. So whenever something happens, they're like, "Oh, don't even worry about it. You guys are three amigos. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Like when they want to change times and stupid shit. I always want to change times.
No, you want.
Due to staffing, and
Yeah.
I'm like, for one, I'm not changing times again ever, because I got work to do. I can't be having you guys screwing up because you can't staff. If I
Yeah.
have to go somewhere else, I'll go somewhere else. But I prefer this one because it's like 5 minutes away.
Is it the same one that no, you go to DeVita, huh?
Yeah.
It's not the same
But it's
one
like-
that I went to.
No.
Fresenius. I went to a Fresenius. That's right.
Right. I know where that one's at, but that's a little far. If you went to a DeVita here, it would be like right over the 5 minutes away. Well, maybe not during the day, but early in the morning. I don't stop for anything. I don't even stop at lights. There's nobody there. I'm not sitting there at a light because there's nobody fucking there. So I get to run the red lights. I'm like, fuck, I'm not sitting here for you to change. So I just go. And I have a letter now that says that if they do a state of emergency to stay home or any of that shit, it's a letter that says that I can leave the house.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like, "What? Are you guys planning something? Is there a COVID
Yeah,
outbreak coming?"
no kidding.
And they were like, "Well, because we had that ice storm, we had the snowstorm, and they were telling people to stay home." And I was like, I wasn't staying home. I thought about it, but I guess enough people were concerned that in the city had told people to stay home, so so they gave us this letter, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I watched. I finished. I don't know if I talked to you since I finished Landman.
Yeah.
I think we did.
We did.
Yeah. Last week the game was on. I figured we won't do one next week because the Super Bowl is gonna be on.
Yeah, probably a good idea because
we'll be doing shit, I'm sure. So the game is gonna be on like in the middle of our.
Yeah.
It starts at like 5:30. So programming note, we won't be here.
Due to the Super Bowl.
Due to the Super Bowl. Normally I wouldn't care.
Goddamn Chiefs and the Eagles.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of hoping it was going to be at least the Bills and maybe the Eagles. I think the Eagles, right? It would have been the Bills and Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it didn't happen.
No. I mean, the better team won. And so this whole time I was thinking, okay, the Chiefs are going to take it. And then that plane crashes in Philly. And then I thought, shit. Now they got something really to play for, right? It's like, okay, let's play for the city. So now I think the Philly will win. I'm probably wrong. I don't know shit, but yeah. What I watch? So other than the news I've been watching lately. Well, I'm not technically watching it. I'm listening to it on the radio quite a bit. All the shit that's happening, it's hard to catch up. Whatnot. Oh, John D's calling me. I wonder what he wants.
John D, you're live.
Hey, John D, you're live.
What's up, brother?
You're live on the air. What's going on?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, great call.
Can you hear him, Kurt?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing our thingy. That's all right. We're not really talking about anything other than bullshitting.
What are you guys talking about? What's the subject?
Health.
Health and safety.
Yeah, our health and safety.
Oh yeah, I got nothing. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, nor have I ever seen one on TV.
I listened to as much interview as I could yesterday. I tried recording most of it. I don't know how it came out. But,
How is it possible that
How
water
bad
is
was it?
so
well, it kept cutting out, so, and I don't know. I know you guys said you guys having issues on your end. So,
Yeah, we were getting told that it was getting garbled, and
yeah.
there was a bad storm going through here last night. So
Yeah, it was cut. It would cut in, cut out, cut in, cut out, and then it would be garbled, and then and then I read your post today saying that you recorded some of it. By the way, Kurt, John and them guys had Connie Burton.
Oh,
Sister.
you were telling me about that.
They met him. She went up there and they met him.
That's
all
hella
last
cool.
night.
Yeah, hella cool.
I mean, I got to hear some I said some of it, and then I got so tired. I get tired nowadays. So
Yeah.
and then I fell asleep.
Health and safety issue.
Yes, I'm telling you. And then I can't remember shit. So, but I was gonna call you yesterday, but there was too much shit going on. And then, but yeah. So, and I was gonna tell Kurt, I went Friday. I went to Ernie's Bash, which Ernie and Nick do a radio show
Uh-huh.
on the Bikers Inner Circle, and they're from here. So the first time I met him, it's funny because I would go there and I was talking to like Ernie. We never met before, right? So I'm talking to him and I'm like, hey, so do you want to do an interview or anything, or you want to anything after you're done? And he's talking to me, and he's like, Denny, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I thought you were the drummer for Copper Steel for a second. He's like, yeah, let's do that. And I'm like, cool. Well, he got too fucked up. He was lit. By the end of the night, he was fucking. I wasn't gonna go into the bar part and try and drag his ass out and do an interview out in the cold because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do interviews inside because of the background music that was playing. I'd get hit with copyright like that, right? So I was like, okay, let's do it outside. And everybody I talked to, like John Ellison, Copper Steel, he's like, dude, I'm too fucked up. I can't. And I'm like, that's cool, dude. You don't have to. And then the only people I got, yeah, right. And then Primer, I did. Those kids were pretty good. But everybody else, they were all like, they couldn't gather the band. Half the band's in the bar. Half the other bands putting their shit away in cars. And I'm like, I'm not waiting out here in the fucking cold at midnight to do an interview. So I said, well, obviously I'll do it another time. But some cool shit. I'll just tell you this. You guys don't know Amber. Amber is Copper Steel's manager.
Yep.
She's freaking on this shit, dude. She told me a lot of shit that's happening that I won't say on the air because they're keeping it quiet at the moment. But
Gotcha.
And I said, okay, I won't say anything. But the whiskey sold out, so I was talking to them about that, and they said, oh, there's other stuff while we're down there. So, but I'm going to give them like Ace of Spades. I'm going to give her that number so they can.
Oh, I sent John the links to give to her for Goldfields in Roseville, because there's a lot of Goldfields in Roseville. It's a little bit smaller than Ace of Spades,
Right.
but they also have, NBA plays there. There's bands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be kind of a smaller in between venues. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if she's looking at venue sizes, to be honest with you. I think, and maybe Ace of Spades is too big, But if they get on a bill with somebody who's big,
Absolutely. That's what I mean. They could get on a bill with a known, a known national act.
Mhm.
And
Yep. But what she did tell me, what I will say is, she's got them booked on a lot of shit. A festival here in Ohio. It's like Farm Fest or some shit. I've never heard of it before. But they're headlining the Saturday night. It's like a 3-day show. And so I said, well, hey, have you hooked up with Aftershock? For Danny Wimmer Presents. And she said no. And I was like, okay, that's what you need to do for August. It's a 4-day festival now. I was telling her. I'm like, they take in all kinds of bands. And so check it out. I mean, I told her I would send her information on that. I don't know any clubs in Chico, so I couldn't really.
really the only one.
Well, the one that we played at on Friday is the Tackle Box.
And that's one that I thought about, sending to him.
Yeah. Kurt just played there Friday.
Yeah, so Kurt can speak of that venue.
Yeah, it's a big stage too.
It's
Nice stage.
smaller-ish, but it's the most known place to go for live music. And Kurt, you could probably attest to that if you can hear me.
Yeah. We played there a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, let me take out my headphones, and then you'll be able to hear Kurt. I think.
But yeah, tackle boxes. That's really. I mean, there used to be. Long time.
Yeah, no, it was pretty. There was a lot of there's a lot of people too.
In Chico, like Seven Dust would play. There's, I mean, I take that back. Lost on Main. Why am I forgetting Lost on Main? I seen still there. So yeah, it was a long night last night. And I'm still in recovery. So yeah. Yeah, I called John a couple weeks ago to tell him about Goldfield. Hey, when you guys are up? He's like, well, we got this run going through. And, it won't be this year. Eddie, I can say it. Eddie's working on doing something at his property.
Right, I knew that. I told John that as well.
So, maybe the next time they come around, we really want to try and get them out, especially if they're doing a Northern California run.
Well, and that's what I was trying to point out is if I can get them hooked up, or at least, I'll let Amber take care of it. I'm just going to give her options. Then if they're heading that way, then they can go up the hill.
Yeah. And, something bigger book, whatever, we can at least go down and see them.
Yeah.
Our main goal, me and Eddie, is to get him up here and play up here.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but, he's pushing him out there.
Oh, fuck.
We would only be able to do it on Friday or Saturday. We wouldn't be able to do it on a fucking Wednesday or even a Thursday during our show. It's just,
Yeah.
it would have to be a weekend event. But so it works out. At least they come up here and say, we can go ahead and go.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, and like I said, there's some cool shit going on, and she's good, man.
No, it's like a memorable.
And she's awesome. Though.
Yeah.
It's shorter.
She's about the size of Mom, but she's a feisty one. I'll tell you, when she's doing she said she's like calling everybody, right? she's just calling and calling and calling. And she's like, I only take guarantees. She's like, we will not pay to play. And I was like, fuck yeah. I said, you know how hard that is to do in California? Like especially, I said, especially like LA, you know.
Oh God, yeah.
And she
Yeah,
told me they
we don't pay to play. We get paid to play. So
Yeah.
so we're doing it, but we're not very much, but
Yeah. But still, I mean, the norm was always pay to play, right? That was
back in the
norm.
day,
For a while,
yeah.
When they announced that, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are Midwest,
Yep.
just up and coming, and your fucking booking agent got you a slot
Yeah.
at the whiskey.
Well, apparently,
It's opening for a AC/DC cover band, and I told John, I was like, dude,
yeah.
Bonfire is like the premier AC/DC cover band. And
Yeah.
you're playing at the whiskey. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that they're trying to play the other places in LA, but they can't announce them. Yeah. And I was trying
I told her when they first announced, I was like, hey, you guys can get your asses up here that weekend. She's like, and she commented, it's like, well, we're
Yeah.
like the next night. I believe that's actually where John is from, San Diego area.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, they kind of want people to go see, you know, the LA show at the whiskey rather than announcing where they're going to be, where they're going to do. After that show, they'll announce the other shows. And, yeah. And I told her, I said, well, I'm gonna tell you some other ones that are in Anaheim and Riverside, Carson area, the ones that I used to frequent quite a bit. You know, and they're small clubs, they're not huge, but you know, I know friends who know the owners, you know, if they're still open. I don't even know if they're still open. You know?
Don't do that with the bear. They did actually. So what? Hair?
That's true. You know, and so I told them I would help them out as much as possible.
You're supposed to play that.
You know, and kind of because she said, she's like, I wouldn't do this if I didn't like these guys and believe in them. And she's like,
yeah, why would you waste your time?
yeah. And she used to do just like booking for bands at a club. And she's like, I love this more. I can hustle. She's like, I'm a hustle and I'm a talker. And I said, I believe it, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, the bad thing was I was recording all that shit, and like my batteries kept dying. They were just whatever was going on. All my video cameras just sucked all the battery life out of my cameras on batteries. Yeah, so I got the first two bands by Stone Eagle and Primer. But the minute
you're not talking about your phone doing Facebook Live. You had,
oh yeah, I had my cameras. Yeah, but I mean, I was able to take.
Dude, I was just like,
now, and that was the question. What?
Yeah, fuck. He gets away. He's not gonna.
Well, and I was wondering, the other ones all sound fine.
For the most part, yeah.
Like Primer and Stone Eagle, and I think
Stone Eagle. There was times it was
kind of high.
But yeah.
What about beneath the? What the hell are they?
Well, and you were farther away from the.
I was like, you assholes. Here you go. I'm like, this is what it looks like. You can't see shit.
Did you do that purposely?
Yeah.
My face?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I was like, I know what he's doing here.
Well, Eddie was doing the same thing, and I'm like, fuck, dude. And then my uncle Daryl said the same thing, and then sent me, Copper Still sound, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, you know. I said I've never even done Facebook Live before. How in the fuck? You know,
that was the one that
I'm like, I need another person because I can't be taking pictures, taking video, and holding my phone up, going, "Hey guys."
Well, no, at this point, we've known each other for about almost 40 years. You should know that now at this point that don't listen to me.
So yeah,
Oh, and by the way, I either want to fucking put you in a chokehold or give you a big fat wet kiss because I thought it was funny how you ended with fucking voice last night.
oh yeah, your birthday
son
show.
of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Well, I had that planned for a while, or I say a while. I only decided to do it like I only decided to do your birthday show like 3 days prior. So it wasn't a long while. And then I started thinking, okay, how am I going to end this? I said, they're going to cut me off anyway, so I'm going to end it off with
Not exactly.
no. And then Eddie popped in there, and I'm like, damn it, Eddie, I wanted to be like. But so how well did I know you by playing it? I mean, most of them, I would say some of them are pretty much no-brainers because you know.
You nailed it from the beginning. The one thing that made it rough, I didn't hear a lot of the last part because that's when Connie showed up.
Well, and I figured that. I figured you guys have it on the background, but maybe not.
Yeah, no, it was on in the background, but that was,
right
when she showed up at like 5:30, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of turned it down because it was, introduction time. And so that kind of, but I did catch, and so I wasn't really talking that,
right.
But I absolutely.
Or poison.
He's over. He's coming. I was like, because I put the motherfucker.
I seen that. But
Should I not come over? I don't know.
I was like, because Connie and them had only been there for like 30 minutes or whatever it was. And I knew you were going off, and then in my ear I was like, what the fuck? And it took me like not even a full second. I was like, oh, I know what he's doing, motherfucker. And I'm sorry, but yeah.
I should have maybe done Winger or Nelson or something that we both don't like,
No,
but
no. Poison was perfect because we know we have a story about
yeah,
it, so
that's funny. But
that was perfect, and I
well, I was gonna put more obscure, like I was gonna put like Voivod. I was gonna put, but I was like, who's gonna be listening, and Ozzy. Well, I could put.
I was listening all up until the point that Connie and Adam showed up.
Because I figured all of these are pretty no-brainers, unless they don't know you or unless, I could have played Slayer, but everybody knows.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I kicked it off with Metallica, that's a no-brainer,
Well, that worked perfect because Connie was good. I thought that, honestly, I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah. Well, that's my favorite Metallica song. So a lot of them I picked up because they're one of my favorite songs from that band. But I couldn't.
And actually, I'll tell you this because we were live and we were, it's like, hey, what do you, we're gonna play. And she's like, yeah, Anesthesia. I was like, we've got Anesthesia, Call of Cthulhu, Orion.
Yeah.
Those are, and so I was like, yeah, but and do you know what the first song I ever mouthed aside from Cliff's stuff?
Uh-uh.
That was the first
Really?
song I ever mouthed.
Nice. Well, I heard her talking like songs that she wanted to hear playing, like she like Five Finger Death Punch and this and that. So, but like I said, it was cutting in and out, and I couldn't try. And plus, the mic was so far away from her; it seemed like that you could barely.
It wasn't that far away. She just
very soft.
Yeah. Like we started moving the mic to the edge of the bar and trying to get her and trying to like, hey, speak up.
Yeah. I mean, there were times where she sounded perfect, and then there was times that she's really soft. And I was like, I have the volume cranking up, and then when you guys kick in, it's so loud, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but how was that? How was it overall? Was it cool?
Oh, it was great. I
Awesome.
mean, I knew going into it, like, I knew that I was gonna be somebody that was gonna, like, she didn't realize that she was gonna meet somebody that was as big a fan of her as their brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so, like, my poster that is all of Day on the Green that I've had since I was 15. You know what I mean?
Right.
My huge Metallica wall poster, the Damage Incorporated.
Right. Yeah, I know that one.
And my Jump in the Fire. They're in my hallway right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my two Cliff Burton figures and his replica blackface that I don't know why they never did a Rickenbacker one, but those are on the top of my curio cabinet in my fucking house right now. Pictures of these things, and I still have them.
Well, I've seen that.
I tell the story about my first concert, which was supposed to be Ozzy and Metallica. So I took a picture of that. So before we were live, I was like, hey, look, just before we go, like, I need you to understand something about me. Like, I'm a huge fan. I showed her all these pictures, like, this stuff is in my house right now.
Well, I seen the Cliff of Mall stuff, the VHS though.
Yes.
Yeah. So, did you ask her, like, because I didn't get to hear everything. Like, do you think her brother would have still been in Metallica if he would have?
I absolutely asked her that. Are you kidding?
I would say because I didn't hear it, so I was just kind of curious.
No, and actually that little bit of conversation happened
Off air.
while he was trying to get out of broadcast, come back in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, I'm not holding back. That's how I want, you know.
Yeah.
So basically, my question was, you know, Justice, because I basically just stated, like, I don't think Justice album would have sounded the same. It would have been the same riffs, but the arrangements might have been different. There might have been more guitar harmonies.
You'd hear bass.
I led into, yeah, and I said, part of that question is, would have stood for the overproduction and the commercializing that the Black Album was? And she honestly was like, what do you mean the Black Album? Like, she didn't even, I was like, you know,
Yeah.
the Black Album. And oh, dude, holy shit. So, and this was one of the craziest things she said on that subject was that, you know, she's always said, even her documentary she did, that he wasn't cool with the whole fame and all that stuff.
Right.
You know, he never even had a bank account in his name. All of his money was handled by his mom, his parents. Like, if he needed money, his mom would just wire him money.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so she said that, like, when they left to go to Europe on that tour, it wasn't that he was disgruntled or anything, but so the biggest point of it is he told her that he had plans of doing a solo album.
Oh, yeah.
That he was going to do something just himself, probably, and I bet you money it would have been with Jim Martin and fucking Mike Gordon, because those guys used to go to Maxwell, the town of Maxwell, to his cabin, and they used to go there and jam all the time.
Right.
Like, a lot of people don't know that. But that's why Jim Martin always wore the tribute to Cliff Burton. Those guys, before they were even in either one of those bands, they were kids.
Right. Well, I kind of figured he would have always went solo. You know, whether he would have stayed solo, different story. But
yes, he would have done other different things.
Yeah.
That's what makes the whole, and I didn't bring this up, that's what makes the whole James cheating on Jason for doing something different.
Right.
as fucked up as it is, because Cliff would have been like, yeah, no, I'm doing it.
Right.
We're on our own time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't like the baby. I don't think he like last
I mean,
you know,
maybe it wouldn't have been as commercial if he had his voice. You know, who knows?
it would not have been. It would not have been the same album.
Right.
So he might have just been like, yeah,
You
I'll
guys,
fucking write through this, but I'm going to do my own shit on the side. And when this is done, I'm done.
right?
Because first of all, I don't like this progression, and I don't like it. Like, he really talks about being a rock star.
Right.
Like, not one bit. He just wanted to make money and be able to raise a family.
Yeah.
Like, literally, that's what he's talking about. It's like, I just want to make money, play my music, and be able to afford to raise a family.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, the one thing that I you know, throughout the years, they've never wavered about Cliff. As far as like, you know, everything is attributed to Cliff. You know, even the other bass players come in, whether it be Robert or any of that, you know, they know Cliff is number one. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. Cliff is number one.
He put Jason kind of, you know what I mean? Because he, obviously, he was a kid and he knew, you know what I mean?
Right.
Rob, Rob was suicidal.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah.
They you know what I mean? So, sure, they dissing a bunch of people, you know what I mean? But each one has always been somebody that has a connection.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, of course he knew Cliff. He knew Cliff, you know, from back in the day. There would be no reason why he wouldn't have, you know. But interesting. So anything you didn't know that came up that,
you know, that's funny. Because she was like, I kept bringing stuff, but she like, everybody in there was, yeah, they were like, wow.
yeah.
Like, you know what? I was like, yeah, I know a lot.
Yeah. Well, because I was in the chat room for a bit. I actually left it on, but there was a lot of people in there. And then, of course, you know, Grot was telling, he's like, you got people listening to this, you know, Germany, Australia, you know, so that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. She's, there's a lot of overseas fans that he's still,
Yeah.
you know, that he knows, and she was giving shout outs to. Hey,
Oh, was she?
You know what I mean? Yeah, there were people commenting, how do I listen? And people were like, oh, I'm having trouble. And
Yeah.
yeah, and it's really kind of fucked up because, you know, all the merchandising stuff,
Uh-huh.
it's not her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so their mom passed away in '93, and their dad remarried, and like the woman already had a daughter, and she is the one that
Took it over?
checked on all the merchandising, all the socks, and all the just.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
So
I
she
mean, I
don't.
hate to say this, it's fucked up, but you know, she's dude.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
her dad didn't help her out or nothing? Or she don't talk to her dad?
Like, you know, I think, you know, the way things go, and you know,
Well, I know she said she.
he remarried, and you know, I mean, it's just one of those things. She went through that addiction phase, and
Yeah,
you know,
that didn't help, I'm sure.
no, as she put it, sorry, but wicked stepsister, she,
Yeah.
you know, she took on the licensing and all that stuff, and she gets nothing. I
Well,
will say this because I did ask her, like, where, and I knew the answer. So I said, where's Red Rickenbacker check? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you I get right. She's like, okay, that's good. That's where I go. And then so she was looking at my, my collectible action figure thing, and she looked at the one and has one of them. He's wearing his checkered flannel. And she goes, she says, I still have it.
Really?
I still have it. Yeah. So of course I went, no shit. I'm like, what about his denim?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, actually, he had two. She said, I have one of them left. She said, one of them just deteriorated, but I still have that. And then I asked her, where's, because I had the replica black base.
Right.
And I asked her, where's that? And she said, well, I have that.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, so I think if you wanted to bring lawyers involved, she would get the rights. She's blood. I mean, there's.
Yeah.
But that'd be nasty and throw down. Hopefully, she can reconcile with her dad and kind of, I know everybody
passed away.
Oh, does he pass away?
Oh, yeah, like 6 years ago.
Oh, I didn't know he passed away. So fuck it, get a lawyer, fucking do it. They got no rights to that, no loyalty to that. They're just they weren't even in the picture when he was in Metallica. You know what I mean?
No, he was long gone. Her stepsister, whatever she is, never met, but she apparently was smart enough and has no fucking moral code that she was willing to just. Yeah.
Huh. Well.
So anyway, so here's I'll put a bow on this. Because they were like, yeah, this Saturday is Cliff Burton Day that they do every year,
right?
Castro Valley, and so Reen's going. He bought them. They got them some hotel rooms. Reen was like, he asked her if she was going to go. She's like, no, they're charging $10, and she's been against that. You know what I mean? But he's like, no, I'm gonna. He's like, yeah, I'm going. The room. And got my tickets, so I'm going.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
What do they do there? Celebrate Cliff.
It's in a small theater here in Castro Valley, and they have live. I guess the guys in Drama are still.
Oh, okay.
Doing stuff, so they're Drama's gonna play. There's, I think one other band's gonna play. There's gonna be special guests playing. Nothing but Cliff, and then they're gonna have his. There's a scholarship fund for Aspen Valley High School that is for the music program.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I've always known about that. I've always wanted to go to it. I mean, it's like it's in the Bay Area. I'm
right.
Never go.
Right.
But yeah, so I guess they have a bunch of the students there from the high school that are benefiting from the scholarship. That they end up playing. And then there's a sit down. There's there's a bunch of people that tell stories about the from like 6:30 to 9:30. So
right on. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
I will. Ray doesn't want to go, so I'm probably going by myself.
Well, so be it.
I talked to Ray and I called her. I was like, hey, she's my woman. She watches geological. She's like, I'm not going nowhere near the coast. It's any moment. I'm not going.
They know we just had a fire. Just don't fly right now. That's what I said.
Okay. I'm going though.
If I gotta go it alone, I will.
Yeah. Well, I called Eddie. I was like, hey, and I knew he was gonna be like, no, I got too much going on. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on.
Reed and them are all staying at the same hotel I got, so
Yeah.
Sounds
She
like
can-
I'll be able to meet up with them and go
Yeah.
with Connie and all them. And
Yeah.
so here's the funny thing, which actually started this for me today, is I went on her page and Harold Oyman, Harold O,
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
long time favorite guy. He knew all the scene photographer. Harold
Oh,
Oyman.
okay.
Harold O.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had actually posted something today about Cliff today, and there was only 3 people he tagged in it, and one of them was Connie.
Oh. Right on.
So I'm guessing they still, because she loves like all those guys back there, you know what I mean? And she's like,
Never reached out.
so, nah, yeah. But,
Huh. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that those guys, because they always mention his dad, right? And
yeah.
they never mentioned anybody else. So, because I didn't know that they had a older brother who passed away. So,
Yeah, well, he was the middle brother.
oh, he was the middle brother. Okay, I thought she said older, but okay.
Yeah, older than Cliff, younger than Connie.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I can't. What'd you say he passed away from? He got something.
Cerebral hemorrhage.
That's
and
it. Yeah.
It was in her arms. It was at their house,
Wow.
inside their bedroom window. That guy, she didn't get into specifics, and that was one of those things. Because
Yeah.
before he started, it's like, hey,
Didn't she say?
obviously she didn't know we were going to into. She was like, I was like, look, if you don't want to talk about something, just shake your hand. And she's like, no, I'll just tell you no.
Well, didn't she say he was like 17 or something like that?
I believe she's 6 years older.
No, he was 17 or something like that. I thought.
Oh, the brother. When
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there was a 7 in there, so there was.
God.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I'm surprised the guys in Metallica don't pay more. Like I said, they usually only talk about the dad and don't talk about the siblings. So, not that does she deserve to be in there? Because if they didn't really know her, what do they do? But if they did know her,
Well, again, if you watch that documentary she did, she's a who is I was an angry drunk.
right?
So she you can watch that. I'm not going to get into it too much, but there's the she was probably the older sister that was out of control.
Yeah.
She did say, I'll tell you that, because we talked about Jay on the Green, the poster, and I was like, we played for whom the bell tolls. I was like, this is Cliff's intro.
Yeah.
And I talked about the picture in this poster is not from that. I don't know if you ever noticed that. That poster is all of the rest of them from Day on the Green. But the picture of James is some picture probably overseas. It's not.
I don't know.
Weird. But she actually said, she's like, so here's the funny thing about this. I guess she went to Cliff and where they went on, like, can I just walk out on stage? Can I just walk out on stage? Like, what?
Yeah, we haven't used
What? I just want to walk out. I'm not going to say anything. I just want to stand there with all those people. And then, I guess they all let her just walk out there before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before they start their set, let her walk out to the front of the stage and stand there and look around. And all. Yeah.
So what?
So
80,000 people. What is that? What's the open call? Because that's
she said, what she said is like, I just want to experience walking out there. All those people focused in. That's got to be
crazy.
Yeah.
It is. It's a weird. I mean, shit. I don't have that many people, but I've been on stage and It's definitely strange when there's a lot of people out there.
Yes.
You know, and I wasn't even playing. I was just taking pictures. I'm like, I felt kind of uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
There's gotta be an energy there when you're standing up.
yeah, people are looking at you and you're like, I'm just here to take pictures. And that's when I was doing like 57 Heavy, when I was doing their shows and shit. I'm like, I don't even know how to take pictures on stage. I've never done that before. You know, what do I do? Do I get in front of you while people are trying to look at you and take pictures? You know what I mean? It's kind of awkward, you know. So I told myself,
You know what? So, Ross Halfin, you know who Ross Halfin
yeah,
is, right?
yeah.
Okay. And she starts out like, oh, that guy. So at one of the birthdays, they probably have a video screen and they put a shot of Cliff up, and she sent us a photo from the side. I think it's the one that I put up, and it's one that Ross Halfin took, and yes, they. I gave it to Ross Halfin, and she said everybody booed.
Yeah.
Was like, oh yeah, that guy's gonna. Oh, no, you guys just heard weird shit about him. She goes, well, check this out. He is before their death. Ross Halfin wanted like $5-10 grand from them to use for using photos that he took.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, that's
I mean,
not,
what
that's,
the fuck? It's a bad thing.
yeah.
It's you piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, he's taking pictures of the iconic ones. But
he would say he's, as far as living in our generation, he's the most decorated and well-known.
well, I mean,
middle.
there's what's his name too? I have his book. Fuck, can't remember his name off the top of my head. But yeah, there's like 2 or 3 of them, right? That did pretty much everybody.
I think the only reason I know Ross Halfin because I've heard some really different shit about how much of a prick he is.
Yeah.
And she turned around and like, oh well, that explains why everybody booed you. There, you just confirmed.
Yeah. That's
You're gonna use my photo for this. I want $10 grand.
yeah.
What? Fuck off.
I'm trying to think. Who's another one? I wish I had my fucking my book here, but I don't. So let's
I mean,
see.
dude, come on, that dude made a good living.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Had a good time taking photos. Like, could you imagine being at a point for Cliff Burton? Oh no, you're gonna use that photo. I want $10 grand.
Yeah.
What a shitheel, dude! Like,
Well, and he's probably made money. You know how much money he's probably made on that? On those pictures themselves, just in his own books or whatever. So,
magazines and online publications. Just yeah.
Mark Weiss. That's who I was thinking of. Mark Weiss.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He's taken like the iconic Ozzy stuff, Crew stuff. But you know, he's done his own thing as well. He's pretty much iconic as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you know, he was more in the scene. You know what I mean? Rather than what's his name?
Part of it. Actually, part of it.
Yeah, he was definitely part of it. He was doing everything that
Heck is
everybody
that?
was doing.
What happened?
Because I've
Something else.
couple interviews he's
Oh.
done, and yeah, he's
You want it?
No.
Is he American?
yeah,
See, and Ross Halfin's a Brit.
yeah. That'll do it.
Yep.
So, all right. Yeah, it's crazy. That's cool though. I'm glad for you guys.
Yeah. Sorry, Shanghai here.
That's right. There's not really much going on in the world of entertainment.
Without
Hey,
getting striked.
we do have the first trans woman, I guess you would say. I don't call it a woman, but man who's going up against women in the Oscars. So how
What?
fucked up is that if he wins? I mean, it blows my mind that people don't get it, but anyway.
You know what? And
It's a shitty movie.
probably will win. Whoever this mentally ill person is, they will probably make it political.
Oh, it's already political.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been since it was announced last week, and I'm like,
Order something from
And then,
Kiki's Chicken. Do you want chicken?
nobody's ever heard
What's
this
that?
person before.
Order
You know what
something
I
from
mean?
Kiki's Chicken.
Until, you got nominated for a role that's stupid.
What do I usually get?
it's
Just
about
chicken
a-
sandwich.
It's literally about
Chicken
a
sandwich. Not spicy.
Mexican cartel leader who
Yeah.
wants a sex change operation to be a woman.
Oh, geez.
And on top of that, it's a musical, and I've seen some of the
Oh, my
shit,
God.
and it's fucking horrible. The songs
Is this for
are
real?
lame.
Is what you're telling me real?
Yeah, I can send it to you, and you can go watch it on Netflix.
This is a movie about a cartel that wanted a sex change, and it's a musical?
Yeah,
Horrifying.
Isn't it called Wicked?
It's gonna glorify.
Isn't it called Wicked?
yeah,
Transgender mental illness, and
yeah,
let's make it a musical.
yeah. And they got the most nominees, like the third most nominees ever. It's got like
Oh my
14,
God.
and
They're so courageous.
And
They're
it's-
so courageous, bro. They're just so
They are-
courageous.
for
So
what?
courageous. So courageous.
It's one of them things I bother. I'm like, how come more women aren't so fucking pissed off is beyond me. You know?
Well, I guarantee there are, but the ones that are in the industry can't say a fucking word.
Yeah, because you notice that not
They don't
one
have
woman,
to jump.
not one woman trans into a man and plays a sport, they can't win. I get they don't. And
And nobody-
same thing with acting, same thing with all this other stuff. Ellen Page or whoever the fuck that person is ruined that show that she was on Netflix. Because that tanked, and there's something else she was supposed to be in, and can't sell tickets and this and that, and she's throwing a bone. Because now she's like, what is she now? Ellen something or something Page?
You know, like, who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about?
I get the gist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're right. There's not one. What woman transitions into I'm a man now that's in MMA?
Yeah. Oh, there's no way.
They're not in the NBA.
They'll
They're
get-
not in the NFL.
No.
They're not in any sport.
They
They
can't.
don't work for one.
They can't.
I mean,
They can't compete.
fucking
Look at that.
biology people. And,
Yeah. 101.
Mhm.
So, it's
And
just
check for your ex-wife.
yeah.
If you want the other ones, you're dominating.
Yeah. I just don't understand it. Whatever. I'm not gonna,
The world we live in.
it is. It's fucking weird. I'm sure glad that Trump signed those DEI shit. That was fucking
Yes.
Yep.
amazing.
The DEI is just another. It's a more extreme version of God. What they? Oh,
Well, it's
my
not
God,
civil
I'm
rights.
sorry.
I'll tell you that right now. It's racism, is what it is.
Well, yeah, but it was what did they call it back? Affirmative action.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
a more extreme
Yeah.
version of affirmative action.
Yeah. Well,
And the Supreme Court actually shit canned affirmative action
yeah.
years ago. Like This is actually on paper. It's gender
Yeah.
bias, it's race, it is.
Well, if you're
all-
white, do not apply. That's basically what
Yep.
it is. You know?
And how can you sit there and preach
If you're
about-
qualified, do not apply.
Yeah.
You are absolutely, first of all, singling out a certain race,
Yeah.
and now you've taken it a step further and you're singling out a gender.
Yeah. Great.
Wow.
Crazy.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It just, you know, there's a lot of things I'm like praising Trump. I'm like, yes, you know, let's piss everybody off. I give a fuck. So, and the more he pisses people off, he gets what he wants. I mean, literally, you know,
Yep.
all those leftists, they were like, oh no, you should never do that to Colombia. Put tariffs on there. They won't agree to that. Two hours later, it's done, you know. And then I read today something else he had done, and he's like, well, if they don't like it, I'm just going to raise them more.
Yep.
And it wasn't Colombia, it was somebody else, Venezuela or something, and they agreed to take back theirs.
It's all of them.
Yeah.
It's all of them.
Yeah, it's so funny. I just,
Starting with Canada and Mexico.
yes, that's funny too.
You
That's,
fucking people have allowed so much
yeah,
bad shit.
yeah. And they know it. They're not stupid.
Fuck yeah, they do.
And I'm just sitting here, just
Yeah.
eating the popcorn, you know, sitting in my chair, eating popcorn, just smiling. And I'm like, yeah, you know,
No, and it goes back to this one thing that, you know, I mean, nobody ever thinks to talk about or say. Of course, the leftist media aren't going to, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, we're the most racist country. We're going to do all this shit and deport people and da-da-da-da. Oh, but close borders. There is not a single other country in this fucking, on this globe
yeah,
that allows people to just come in illegally.
yeah. Well, not only that,
Not one. You have to have papers,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
yeah. And Obama, he deported 1 million.
He deported more people than any president.
Yeah. And
He actually deported more people than Trump when his first.
yeah. So, you know, oh, where'd that? Oh, we can't talk about that.
No.
It's just,
That's besides the point.
yeah. Well, I'm the most I think I'm excited for is him to sign the papers for no tips, Social Security taxes, and he's talking about getting rid of the payroll tax. So I'm
That's never going to happen.
well, I don't know. He got rid of friggin' 80,000 friggin' IRS agents. You gonna put them on the
Dude,
fucking border.
That's never going to happen.
I don't know.
That's never going to happen. But I believe what he's doing is he's sending a message. I believe he knows that's never going to happen. But what he's doing is he's
Well,
putting it out there to put it in people's, you know, brains. Like, hey,
you don't
like,
need to be
this is where
taxed.
this money's going. We don't. That will never happen. That will never go through Congress.
Wow.
That will never. But it's a great talking point.
It is for me.
Get people talking. You know what I mean?
Well, he doesn't have to worry about being reelected in 4 years. So
No.
he's like fucking going balls, huh, man?
No, but as far as that goes, you know what I mean? He's got to, because who's going to run the next ticket? Obviously, it's going to be JV.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
no,
Vivek
you-
is going to be right behind him as well because he's going for Ohio. I think it's Ohio governor. That's why he got out of Doge because he wants political office. So,
yes. You know what I mean? He can, you know, but as long as
What are you doing?
that's how it goes. The vice president
right.
gets moved up, and usually, but yeah,
Well, they're talking if this works, it'll be 12 years before another Democrat gets elected.
well, let's hope that.
Well, you know, it always flops back and forth. But
She's
No,
such
we
an
just don't
asshole.
need, we never need to be as bad as this last 4 years.
no. And for anybody out there who thinks that either one of those, it is politicians.
Yeah.
that have ruined this country for
Oh yeah. Yep.
100 years. I mean, so if you think that either side, there's shit that goes on behind closed doors. It's politicians. They have the ability to fix every fucking.
Oh yeah.
Most times. They all bitch about the same thing.
Yeah.
Inflation, but it never get fixed.
Yeah.
It just gets fixed a little bit more than
right
it was before.
Right. Or it gets worse. Whatever.
Just enough to where the American people are like, okay, we're okay with that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
When in reality, 100 years ago, there was no, there was no payroll tax.
Right.
There wasn't tax.
I think he said 1919 is when it started, or somewhere around there. And and he's so high on McKinley. He's like praising, even though he was assassinated, and and he was like tariffs. McKinley had the biggest because of the tariffs. We had so much money, and he's like, we didn't need those payroll taxes, and we didn't need this and that. And granted, he's right, but then again, we got roads now. We got, certain things.
The infrastructure that is
but
now is
at the same time, yeah, but
100 times more.
Yeah, but they ain't doing shit with that either. I can tell you, there's potholes still in my fucking road, and I pay a lot of property tax.
Goddamn.
And because we're in a better neighborhood than if I go across the fucking highway to Missouri. Who's got even worse. I mean, their potholes are even worse, man. And I'm like, they're raising all that money in freaking pot, and they ain't gonna fix one fucking pothole. It's gonna line someone's pockets.
There's counties in this state.
Yep.
You cross a county line, and all of a sudden the road turns to either shit.
Yeah.
Or
well, every county around here, they're thinking about. Well, we want a piece of that too. We want to be, and they should be already getting some of that, but apparently they don't. So they have to fight for those funds. And I'm like, that's the fucking stupidest, because there's no way Colorado should be in debt. Absolutely not, because they were the first state. They should have the nicest roads. They should have everything. But you know what? It's becoming like San Francisco. It's a fucking shithole, And it shouldn't be that way. None of these states should be that way. So anyway, the blue states are just, Chicago, just horrible, and they keep these freaking illegal aliens that are freaking, they're not nice people.
No.
Give a shit. They've already proven that. But you're going to fight for them over the American people. And they're, that just makes no sense. Well, in the meantime, the people are going, we want these fucking people out, but they won't do it. So fuck them all, I'm just like, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors goes on,
Absolutely.
And like, oh, look what we're doing over here, but don't look over here. And with these politicians, it doesn't matter what state it is, but like I said, I still got fucking potholes in my, So, and I pay, like I said, I pay a lot of property tax and taxes in general, and it's just one of them things. It's like, there's no reason for me to pay this much. There's absolutely none.
Right.
Every move you make, you're green tax.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And legally,
every bill you pay, every utility bills, every fucking move you make, you're paying a tax.
Right. Legally, it's only supposed to be taxed once. Well, they go, well, you are only taxed once on this or on this. I'm like, okay, so if I go to a thrift store, that shit's already been taxed. Why do I got to be taxed again? That's illegal. Well, that's just the way that's the way that
something that was already taxed before that somebody bought, and then you go to that.
That's already been taxed. It's been taxed 4 times by the time it comes to me.
Yep.
Because the person who buys it, sells it, creates it, gets taxed. All that shit. And it's like I said, it shouldn't be that way. But that's why I'm not a politician, because I'd be dead. They would shoot me in a heartbeat. I would say, I'm speaking logic.
There you go. They got a turd in the punch bowl.
I know.
Communist, Nazi.
If yeah, right. If I move to the left, it hits me. If I move to the right, it grazes my ear.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, there's, and it's the same thing. Like I was saying, like movies. Like we talk a lot of entertainment on here, and lately there hasn't been shit. Their movies are crap. That new Black Captain America that's coming out. How can you call it Captain America without Captain America being in it? I don't know. I understand other people have taken the shield and been called Black or Captain America, but
it's absolute.
But nobody wants to see that. And
It's ridiculous.
Bucky should have been the next one because Bucky was the first one to take over after Cap died, right? But
they can't call it. They can't call it fuck.
Right.
Nobody will know who the fuck and like what.
Right. Well,
who talked?
Well, and that didn't come out until the 90s. So people could say, oh, well, he's carried the shield before. Well, not in the original comics, he didn't. It wasn't until politics came into the 90s and they started rewriting shit.
I'd like to know. I don't even know. Is Stanley still alive?
No.
If he is, where's his stance on this?
Well, he's been dead for.
And he'd be like, this is.
Oh, shit.
Well, he's been dead for at least 5 years. Before Infinity Wars and all that stuff. So I'm trying to think last time he was cameoed and last time I can remember was like Guardian of the Galaxy 2. So that's the last time I remember seeing, but I know he passed away quite a few years ago. But yeah. I mean, if they haven't learned from anything, all these Disney Plus
they don't
shows.
have any new ideas, bro. They don't.
No, they don't.
There's no new ideas.
Well, see, and they don't really need to because the comics are laid out. You have everything you need in those comics. You don't have to splice them and take a piece of this, take a piece of that. Why not just take a run? You take a run of those comics and be good.
I'm not even talking about the Marvel series stuff. I'm talking about it in general.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, shit. July we get a new Superman. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about it. We'll see. I don't know. I wish they would. They don't because. So I have a lot of old movies, right? And like, so sometime over the weekend I watched Above the Law. Remember that movie?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That's such a good movie, other than the dubs.
I watched that movie more times at Kevin's.
Yes.
I never watched it anywhere else.
So I watched that, and I watched Marked for Death too, or Hard to Kill, right?
Oh god, yes.
And there's that's when they start getting cheesy, really. His movies, but the overdubs in there, they're fairly good movies, other than the overdubs. They make stupid little overdubs, but and I notice them more now than I did then, because I'll watch like The Goonies or I'll watch, Fast Times, and I'm watching these movies, and these were all really good movies that were they're all original ideas. All these movies, whether they're teen movies.
You brought those up. So I'll extend this to 16 Candles,
Yeah.
Freedom Cake,
Yes.
and the greatest of our generation, The Breakfast Club.
Yes.
And God bless who is in control of the rights to those.
Yes. Well,
because they have not. I
they've
guarantee
they've tried.
Hollywood has been trying to
Yeah.
remake those forever.
Yeah, whoever owned, I think John Hughes' either son or wife owns the rights, and they will.
I know he passed away some time
Yeah.
ago, but yes, absolutely. And I hope that on his deathbed, he said in his this will these will never be remade.
Right. Ferris
They're
Bueller's,
the
yeah.
greatest fucking movies of that generation that you don't touch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at even like the old Rocky movies, the first three, we'll go with the first three. They're good movies, Yeah. And they haven't tried, I mean, they've tried with Creed, but it's just not gonna work.
Well, but they haven't remade the original, and as
No.
long as Sylvester goes, yeah, let's just keep the Creed thing going. You can't
Well-
remake when you want to keep a franchise going.
He's not involved in that anymore. They wrote him out, and I guess they own the rights. Whoever owns the rights to those movies.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, they wrote him out in the second one.
He sold out.
Yeah. Well, he did.
Say it correctly. He sold out.
Yeah, he did that at the beginning, and he's always said that he regretted selling the rights, and he wanted them back, but they won't sell them back to him. Which, of course not. They're not. He's making a good. He still gets money from them. He gets royalties.
I mean, come on. Why would you even sell your?
Well, I don't.
You
Well,
got generational money, dude. Your entire family for 3 generations you're spent. Why would
Well,
you even give a fuck about selling it off?
well, I don't know when he sold it off. That's the thing. So I'm not too sure. I had heard it would
He
be.
still has $1 billion.
I think it was at the beginning when he sold it because they didn't think it was going to make any money or something like that. And I can't remember. Like I said, I don't know the details of what year he sold them off, but he kept Rambo.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And he kept the Expendables and Tango and
Wow.
Cash.
Tango and Cash. What about the arm wrestling one?
Over the Top, yeah, Cobra.
Oh my god.
And now I'm
What about
just
Cobra? Did he keep Cobra?
they'll probably remake that one. But Schwarzenegger, you know, I know he didn't own the rights to Terminator, but they kind of screwed him on that one. And it's just
No, that was I believe James Cameron.
yeah, they kind of screwed that whole thing up. The Last Dark
Well,
Fate.
I mean, of course he didn't have rights to it. He was just an actor. He didn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. But yeah, it's just certain like that. There these movies that were so good. The only movies that have been really good that have done anything is John Wick, right? John Wick, and then now that Top Gun Maverick did a lot of money, people are going, "Hey, we can revisit these movies," you know.
yes.
So I'm hoping they
not
don't.
a reboot, not a remake, but revisit. To
Yeah.
a sequel.
Yeah, and they're doing that to something. I can't remember what it is, but they are doing it, and it was the big
John Wick. The last one is just
over the top.
it's ridiculous. Like
So
yeah, it's like 2 hours of just like
depth.
come on. And listen, I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan. I think he's a great dude. He's not a Hollywood type. He
Yeah.
gives so much money. He doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
Yep.
like, and maybe he kept it going just so he could make a bunch more money to give away.
well, it could have
And
been.
I honestly think that's probably that was his mindset.
Well,
but still, okay.
Because at 3, I thought 3 was going to be the last one, right? And then all of a sudden, 4's coming out, and I thought they must have offered him a shitload of money, you know.
yeah, then he probably was like, all right, cool, more money I can
But-
give away.
And then he's in this new one that's coming out. It's a ballerina or whatever. That it's a woman this time, but he kind of takes her under a wing or something like that. And it looks so far the trailer looks okay. It's not so much about her. It's kind of like she trying to get out or trying to be the best or something like that. But they fuck her up, man. You should watch some of these fight scenes because that's a problem with women and a lot of unless you're like technically a superhero. There's no way any woman's gonna beat the crap out of some fucking 300-pound muscle dude. Just not gonna happen. So you know, unless you have some fucking powers, you're not gonna do it. So when these movies come out and you're just some little Asian who can do ninja shit, it ain't happening. Same with kids. It ain't happening.
Unless you've got a gun or a fucking
Right.
sword, that dude's gonna talk you around and he's gonna beat your ass.
Yeah. You know, and that's just the way it is. I mean, and people will call me friggin' a sexist or whatnot. It's not true because I can guarantee it's let's go outside. I'll go find a chick and some 300-pound dude, see if she can beat the crap out of him. It ain't gonna happen. You know, I'm sorry. I don't care. You can get the toughest MMA. She may do some damage, but she ain't kicking his ass. You know, she's gonna get hurt. You know, because You know, I mean, it sucks, but that's the truth. You know, that's why when these men who become trans, become, you know, fighters, are kicking the crap out of these women who are badasses. You know,
Yeah, that's not right.
no. So you know, it has to be legit in movies for people to give a shit. I guess you'd say. You know, and if it's not legit or doesn't, you're just like, okay, that's. Even though we all know comics are fake, you still go, that's fake. That ain't gonna
Well, there has to be some element of believability.
Right, yeah. Because nobody's gonna beat
You know,
some chick isn't gonna beat the
John
Hulk.
Rambo. I'll go back to Rambo. John Rambo. I mean that stuff. You can believe that a guy could do that.
Yeah, for sure.
One guy. You could. All of that is you can wrap your head around that one guy could do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't so far over the top.
Well,
you know,
some guy did do that. You know, what's that guy that was running around LA back it was about 10 years ago, remember? And he was so freaking shooting everybody and shooting he was military.
Oh,
You remember
yes.
you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know now. Yes,
And then he just went away after they said they killed him or he committed suicide.
No, they found him holed up at some fucking
mountain in the mountains.
Yes. But he did. He managed to get away with fucking going around and pop.
Yeah, he was.
Catch me.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, there's an expiration date when you do that shit. Yeah, you're not gonna fully get away with that shit.
No, I mean, eventually something's gonna happen, but I mean, he did do some damage. He did, but it's funny because his name just went away. You never hear about him again. I can't remember his name.
The next one.
Yeah, till the next one. There's always the next one, but
always,
you know. So, and that's why when we talk about these movies, we're just like, you know, some of these there isn't really anything coming out that I give a shit about. You know, do you watch Landman at all?
No.
Watch that one.
He's been spouting about it. I don't pay for streaming services.
Oh.
It'll end up coming out on
It'll
Paramount
be
next year.
It is on Paramount. It's already on Paramount.
Not Paramount Plus. I mean, like, I don't have to pay for it.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
Get good internet service and download it somewhere. It's fine.
No, bro, I'll just wait until next year and then they'll play it on. Yeah, like they did with all the other Yellowstone offshoot series that they.
Gotcha.
I've been watching fucking 1823 and I didn't have to pay for it. Sure.
No, but it's good. It was probably my favorite of the year. Shogun, another one. If you haven't watched Shogun, that one's on Hulu. And what's Hulu? Who owns Hulu? Disney?
Disney, yeah.
Yeah, yes. And so check this out. I'm so glad you mentioned Hulu. So last night, Connie said that she's been approached and they want to do a Cliff documentary that's going to end up on Hulu.
Oh, cool. Right on. That's, I mean, they do some clips.
Where you at in this? And yes, like, well, I don't know all that. Yeah, so.
I mean, I think I've seen a couple documentaries on Hulu and they're pretty legit. You know, that's the thing you got to watch out for if they're legit, right? So, but you know, those are my two favorites of last year. But you know, Landman, of course, ended a couple weeks ago. That fucking shit. Because we found out we have mineral rights, right, in Texas. So,
well, every state has mineral rights. I could own the property I'm standing on, but still not own the rights to everything underneath.
Well, no, they literally paid my family for mineral rights. And like they're paying, I don't know how.
You remember you telling me this?
So, and I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. The whole time I thought they were talking about pebbles and rocks and shit. No, they're not. They're talking about oil and gas.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how stupid I am. Because
literal fucking underneath the ground you're stepping
Yes, until
on.
I
So it's like 100 feet or something. I don't know.
yeah, I can't. I think it's more than that. I think it's like 1,500. I think I could be wrong.
Okay.
But just from watching the show, I figured out what the hell they were talking about, you know. And I'm like, they gave my dad $500, and then they gave my uncle like $2,000. They gave my aunt $2,000, and I'm like, why did they do that? Because why? Because they haggled. My dad didn't do shit. Actually, he said he didn't even. Actually, he told me he didn't cash the check. That's right. So, one of these days, me and Kurt's gonna go check out this land that we have, and check it out. What the fuck's on it? It's supposed to be like northwest Texas, I think, on the border of New Mexico.
Right now is a good time to find out because they're going to start drilling
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
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 Wish.
And so I want to go check it out. And granted, it's a drama series. I get it, but the part that interests me the
land
most.
rights and mineral rights are two different things. And
Yeah. Well, and I'm learning. Just by watching the show, I learned a lot. You know what I mean? Just by them talking, and I'm like, okay, what does this mean? And then I watch like a reaction who are actual landman, and they talk about this stuff. So I'm getting a bigger picture of understanding what goes on.
Google and get a better understanding than what Hollywood is telling you.
Well, right, and that's what I'm saying.
And also, so are you talking about Cliff? Cliff got?
No. He's not part of the Sphinx. He's not a Sphinx.
Oh, okay.
Daryl, my aunt Tammy, but my uncle who passed, Terry, his kids get it, or the oldest or somebody gets it, and then my dad got it, right? And then it goes on. Okay, well, he remarried, so it goes back far from what I understood. So it's not just like my dad's dad. It's somebody else in that, like his grandfather, some shit. And I'm like, I didn't even know any of this shit, And I wish I knew then what I know now, because I would have asked them some questions, because my dad kind of wanted me to talk to these people, and I'm like, I don't know what I have no idea what they're talking about when they're talking minimal rights. I don't fucking know. I'm stupid.
Lose your friend, you can find out all that shit in the palm of your hand, bro.
Well, I can now. I know what they're talking about. I didn't know what they were talking about. I was just like, I think it was kind of like taken off guard that we actually, we got land, what? So I'm kind of wondering how big. It's like 15,000 acres. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Right, but it's all mineral rights. It's not. You don't own.
The Sphinx owns it. That land.
Right, but so the actual above ground land, the actual property. No.
So I'd like to build a compound, and then renegotiate our mineral rights.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm pretty sure they lowballed us. I'm almost guarantee they did. Because obviously, you're in the business to make money. So,
yeah.
But anyway, that show brought some, clarity to me, and not only that, Billy Bob Thornton's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
He really is. He gives some cool ass speeches. It's not a woke show. It's pretty much he tells it how it is. This and that. He calls bullshit where there's bullshit. So I like when that shit's just out of the picture, right? That's why I like Shogun. Shogun, it's about 16th century Japan when the who came over there? It was there was two, I can't remember. Spain and somebody else. Portugal maybe. And that was very interesting to watch to me.
Huh.
So
that's a remake too.
Oh yeah, it's a book, but they only made one book.
It's a book, but they made a mini series. It was a mini series.
I did hear that. Yeah, I did hear that.
The very first mini series that was on network television, Shogun.
Yeah, I think you're right because they did talk about that.
No, I'm right. Yeah.
But this is more graphic. When they're watching somebody being boiled alive, It's fucking crazy. And they're talking like you can they'll be talking, right? Because it's Japanese and they have subtitles and this and that. And it's split between Japanese and English, right? But they're talking and they're far away and you can still hear this guy screaming. I was like, fuck, man, that's pretty intense, because he's being boiled alive. And
Well, you lost me at subtitles. If I'm watching a movie I want to watch, I don't want to read while I'm watching a movie.
they kind of, like I said, they go back and forth because it's in Japan.
Yeah.
So when they talk, they're like, they go back and forth.
They don't need to do that though. I mean, just let's pretend like everybody speaks English. And I don't have to read.
No. I get it, but I liked it. I thought it was good. And like one of the best movies I seen was Godzilla -1, and that's Japanese, and that's full Japanese. You can get the English version, but I don't really care. But I mean, I thought it was a good movie. Probably one. I don't know if I guess you've never seen it, but okay.
No.
Nope.
Godzilla fan?
No.
How about Planet of the Apes? You'll see a lot of the people you know. But I'm trying to think of movies that I watched last year that I actually liked. I mean, there wasn't a lot.
I don't watch movies anymore. I like new movies that come out. I did see the new Beetlejuice. That's the newest movie I watched.
Yeah, but even that, it wasn't that good. It was okay,
It was just okay.
There didn't need to be a sequel. I know why they made a sequel, but they didn't really need to do it. Same thing with Ghostbusters. Same thing with all that stuff. But
you know what? I will, and I won't speak on the Ghostbusters that had all the women.
I
will speak to Ghostbusters Afterlife with Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
I thought that was a great movie.
It was good. I'm not saying
we've watched it. I've watched that movie more than once, and granted with them because they like it, but I actually like that movie. The little marshmallow.
Yeah.
That was great. They brought back all the old guys. Obviously, Harold Ramis was dead, and they managed to.
They said goodbye.
Fix in there, and I thought that was great. I like Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah. Well, I imagine you watch a lot of kids' movies, right? With the kids.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're getting older. I mean, they're not totally,
Yeah, I mean, Hunter. Well, the generational thing. Hunter watches a lot of Wildcrafts, which is PBS.
Okay.
Teaches a lot about animals and stuff. And,
okay.
They're the boys. They're getting older, and Jax. He's the middle boy, so he's a wild card. He loves all the John Wick, and he loves the mayhem stuff. I sit there and oh, please calm down. Calm down. When I was your age, I was getting home watching fucking
He-Man.
I was still watching Tom and Jerry, and
G.I. Joe and shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. Well, because like Kurt and I, we have a lot of different streaming services, whether it be HBO Max or Disney Plus, because they come packages and all this shit. So we watch. So that's how we watch a lot of this shit. But to be honest, we haven't really watched. The only reason why I keep like Disney Plus is because the in-laws like to watch it, and I haven't watched something on there in a while, and I'm like. And I'm not going to force myself to watch anything I don't want to watch. No, I haven't watched a Star Wars series since when was the last one I watched? I can't even tell you. I think Boba Fett, and then I stopped watching everything. I was just like, this is fucking stupid. Anything Disney does is stupid as far as like Star Wars, Indiana Jones. I didn't watch the last one because it's just I couldn't stand it. I started to, and I'm like, this is fucking stupid, and it sucks.
Yeah, you watch a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Is it, but like the Indiana Jones and the Star Wars, is that because
It's
do you
all
think that's because you're at a point of age and you're a purist when it comes to that?
Oh yeah, I'm not into identity politics, so I don't give a shit. I don't care if Star Wars has the first transgender Jedi. Who cares?
Are you? No, listen. Are you so much? Is it because that's like when you like? Because for me, like I don't give a shit about. I mean, when it comes to Indiana Jones, so you read Indiana Jones and Star Wars. I went to those movies with my dad.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, Superman with Christopher Reeve. I saw those movies in the movie theater or at the fucking drive-in.
Right.
So for me, it's a thing that I'm curious about it. Don't touch that shit because that's my youth. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So there is a part that we hold on to it because that's our youth, like our real youth.
Like yeah, and you talk about any John Hughes fan, right? Any of those movies he did, Breakfast Club, don't touch them because there's a lot. I mean, I could go down. There's so many '80s movies that I've been watching lately, and I'm like, man, it didn't do a lot as far as like because I remember like Kurt and I going to Short Circuit, right? You remember that?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we went to Greenback Lanes. Yeah. What was funny about that is we go to the movies in the morning and just movie hop all day long. We'd see what 4 movies, and then go home.
Illegally?
I won't confirm or deny, but I will say that we would just if we would hop into one theater if we didn't like it, we'd hop into another theater.
Yeah.
And we only had to do that with one ticket,
No, see, that was a different time. You could actually
It sure was. It was an awesome.
Everywhere checking a ticket. You could actually do that.
Yeah, because there were all kinds of movies, and so like I'm like, don't touch those movies. Don't touch those movies. Don't touch. So, but and then like when we had the laser disc where the movies, like, oh man, that was cool, and then the VHS comes out and kills it, basically. And the VHS for us, well, you were there, up in Brownsville when we got our first VCR. Where'd we go? We went to freaking
Video Busters. Video Busters.
Yeah, Video Busters, right? That's what we did, and
And Steve Boone opened that, and Steve, a lot of people probably feel on this, but it was Brownsville. This place was, you know what I mean?
Nothing.
But Steve, and I've met them. I've seen that dude over the years, and I never always asked him, what made you think to have Scorpions Worldwide Live?
Yeah.
Iron Maiden Live After Death. Like he would buy. I remember renting Iron Maiden Live After Death multiple times. We'd watch Scorpions on VHS. He would have that.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I never bought those. I never owned those.
Yeah.
It would be weekends, and my mom would be like, okay, yeah, let's go to the video store. And we're like, yep. Oh my God, he's got Iron Maiden. He had Wasp Live at the Lyceum.
live in the Raw.
No, the Live at the Lyceum.
Oh, really?
Which is absolutely trash because I ended up buying it like 20 years ago. I found it online and I bought it. And when I still had a VCR, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I realized that most of it is overdubbed.
Yes. Well, he does that now too.
It's not even a live recording. They overdubbed the album tracks over the live footage. Yes, it was, and I didn't realize it.
Is it licensed? Is it licensed by Wasp or Blackie?
I don't know.
because I mean, I don't know, because Live in the Raw is, you know, that's the only one they talk about, right? So, interesting.
Yep.
But yeah, I
remember
mean,
buying it, and I believe I still have it in my
box of something.
box of yeah. And I remember watching it, and I remember finding it and buying it and watching it. And I'm like, oh my god, this isn't even the live recording. They overdubbed albums.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, he's live, he's talking, and then it would,
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
oh my god! But that was one that Steve had at Video Buster. She had Wasp. He had Scorpions. He had, and we would go rent them. We never bought them. We didn't know.
Right.
You know, my mom was like, "Where is it?" Like, Mom, if you just go to the warehouse and buy it, we won't have to keep.
Well, that's what I
money.
would say. I would say Kevin owned those, so you know, I was like, I didn't have to worry about any of that. You know, Dio, there was Dio Ingve. He had, and what's funny though is they used to play when we were younger. It was, I can't remember if it was Friday Night Videos or MTV, but they would play these live shows. Dio, Ingve, Kiss, who else? I'm the Maiden, the Scorpions, Worldwide Live, and they play them on the air. And I don't know. I tried looking and whatnot to see who played. I can't figure it out. So I don't know. It's interesting though. Because before Headbangers Ball, Friday Night Videos would play all of that stuff. They were the first.
Friday Night Videos premiered Kiss, All Hell's Breaking Loose.
Yeah, they did Crew as well.
Riot.
Yeah.
We didn't get, because, you know, I mean, we didn't here, we didn't get
Cable.
That was the great thing about Friday Night Videos, because you didn't have to have cable. It was on network TV.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that was because we didn't have cable. We didn't have cable till I was a teenager. So
oh no shit.
Oh yeah. Even living down. We were poor white trash. So
Well,
me and Kurt. This is me and Kurt. Even we didn't. I can't remember when we lived. In the, I don't know if they're apartments, but the fourplexes, right? We didn't have cable, but we would watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe, right?
Yeah,
it was always on different channels, right?
Yeah.
And then in the mix of that, we would listen to Metal Shop, right?
Yep.
Oh, hold on.
Metal Shop.
Yeah.
Metal Shop.
Yeah. You know he's still on, right?
Are you serious?
Yeah, Ron Keel hired him on his Ron Keel has this big Ron Keel. Yeah, he has his own online radio station, right? So
of course
he hired him to be on there, and there's a few other people as well that are on there, and of course Ron does his own stuff. He's got a big old company. He does, whether it's music, media, but anyway. So yeah, so he's on there, but I still probably have cassette somewhere that I recorded. You know?
Do you really?
Oh, I'm sure I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
But and you can find them on YouTube. You know, some stuff.
Sure.
But but that wrestling stuff, we used to watch that all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just an hour; it was hours.
Okay. You may not have had, cable, but you were in Sacramento. You got all kinds of free air stations. We got 3.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
We got all the UHF channels as well. Or VHF.
Yeah. VHF.
Yeah. We got all those.
Yeah.
You know, before they were popular, 31, 40, and 58. Those ones were always on, and 19 was Spanish.
Yeah. Fucking Univision.
Yeah. But so
Telemundo.
So
Telemundo.
Hey, but they had the hottest news chicks ever.
And I think they still do. The weather people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
What
so
are the cantaloupes that are flying over Guadalajara today? Yeah, what? Wait, there's weather? What did you just say?
yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, obviously, evolution in media and television and movies, it's gone a long
Oh,
way, and I think CGI is overdone. Personally,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I like some of the CGI stuff. I don't like it all CGI. You know, unless of course it looks real. You know, I don't know if you've watched any of that.
I think it's done.
It has to be done right. I guess
Yeah.
you'd say. You know,
I know it is the Transformers, and I know this because my oldest grandson, he's a Transformers freak.
Yeah.
He has so many Transformers. He's seen the Transformer movies were done right. Live action with really good stuff.
yeah, but the story isn't. I mean, are you really looking for the story?
Yeah,
But
well, on the last one they did, was
is that the
fucking-
Beast ones?
it was a cartoon.
Oh yeah. I watched it.
Cartoon, basically.
Yeah.
It was, the whole thing was, and I argued with him when I was like, I don't like this. He was watching like this. He's like, why? I'm like, why do you like this? This is that. Well, they're real actors. I'm like, no, they're not. This is actors' voices. He's like, what? I'm like, shut up. He's like, whatever, Papa.
Is that the Transformers one?
Yeah. It's basically a cartoon.
Yeah. I mean, I think Kurt, did you watch it? Because I watched it.
Yeah. I watched
I
it.
didn't think it was horrible, but there's parts in it I was just like, oh my god, this is getting, kind of ridiculous. But anyway, I didn't think it was horrible, but
No, it wasn't bad.
I mean,
I never watched it.
but I was gonna say I don't watch it every day. I'm like, I don't watch it every day, so I watched it once, thought it was okay,
Well, it's funny is I turned him on YouTube because I was like, buddy, I watched the original, and this is years ago. Like I was like, when I opened his mind to the fact that, and so I sat with YouTube on the TV. I was like, look, like I watched this shit when I was your age, and he looked at me and he was like, what?
yeah.
I'm like, this is the original Transformers cartoon. Like, I watched this when I was your age, and he was like, boom, his mind exploded.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because there's YouTube channel out there that will play 24 hours of live Transformers and G.I. Joe and He-Man. And only Hasbro. I think it's Hasbro that actually does it. And
probably, yeah.
And so you can go on YouTube and watch Hasbro, and they'll do 24 hours of whether, like I said, G.I. Joe, Transformers, any of that. And you can watch all this stuff. And I'm watching it and going, man, not only the cartoons better back then.
Yeah.
They really are. The art isn't a whole lot good, but it's just something about it is better. Maybe it's just
something about
the storytelling, the way it's done, Well,
I will tell you this too. So my granddaughter, she'll be 3 towards the end of this month. She is a old school Scooby Doo.
Oh yeah.
Now she's Paw Patrol, and now she's Scooby Doo. And she was here a couple weeks ago. It was the first night she spent the night. I had turned on Boomerang, old original Tom and Jerry.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god! So I said, series recordings. I recorded like a bunch, and she hear that. It's like, yeah, baby girl. I got her a bunch. Whatever. I was hungover that morning, and I was like, and she's like, oh, I'm like, God. I put on Tom and Jerry, and she just sat there, and she just laughed and laughed.
That's funny. It's funny
for like
stuff.
an hour. She laid next to me. I nodded off for like an hour, and I woke up and she's still sitting there just laughing at old Tom and Jerry. She loved it.
That's awesome.
Not to love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
There's a lot of good stuff. I mean, really. So.
Oh, dude.
I think.
Yeah, Hunter. So a few years ago, I bought what I could find, and it's not Looney Tunes set, but it's like 32 discs, of
Uh-huh.
Looney Tunes, and
Oh yeah.
I bought it for the boys. I was like, you guys need to watch. This is real cartoon. You know what I mean? And so I'd start playing them, and they're like, all right, I put in Wile E. Coyote stuff, Roadrunner,
Uh-huh.
and Hunter, my youngest grandson, that was his jam. Like, you want to? And he's like, nope, Wile E. Coyote. He would just sit there, dude. Fucking Wile E. Coyote would just get murdered, and he would just sit there and fucking laugh. I'm like, whoa. You sadistic little
Yeah.
3-year-old.
Right.
What the hell? But
Yeah.
it's a great shit.
Yeah. And now you need to find out if they have any of those on there that were pulled that they won't show on TV anymore.
Oh, right.
There's probably a handful because there's a lot of them they won't show on TV anymore.
Well, it's funny too because Tom and Jerry is, bar none, the most violent cartoon.
One of them, yes, I would say, yeah.
I mean, bring something else up. But every episode is the cat trying to kill the mouse.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
The dog, they can get the dog in it to kill the cat. The dog's trying to kill the cat. And it's a circle of fucking just violence.
And the cat always gets it, right?
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The middle one always gets it. The dog doesn't get it. Yeah.
Smash, just
Yeah, you're right. I was trying to think off the top of my head, but I was thinking anytime Bugs Bunny is fucking with anybody, they get fucked up. Elmer Fudd,
Yeah, but it's a slow progression. It's kind of
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
It-
Well,
it's
Daffy
not-
Duck
Tom
gets
and Jerry is right out of the gate. Jerry is trying to get eaten.
yeah, that's
And
true.
Everything is about him getting eaten, and it's Jerry fucking him up the whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bugs is slow play. Ha ha.
Well, I was thinking
Like,
Daffy
sticking
Duck
his
is
leg out, tripping him on a fucking landmine.
Yeah.
It's some weird. You know what I mean?
well, Daffy Duck gets fucked up quite a bit too.
Sylvester.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, but I think you're right. I think Tom and Jerry's probably until it takes me next week till I figure this out. But
You got on the next one. What was the most violent?
well, and if you notice, all the new cartoons are trying to be video games, right? They
Yeah.
look and they feel, and I'm not really into that. I don't know if the kids are really into that, but I can't say.
I like the fact of knowing that the cartoons we watched were actually drawn by hand,
Yeah.
by cartoonists,
Artists, yeah,
artists that every second of a cartoon you saw took a guy 5 hours
Yeah.
to fucking draw up.
yeah,
Literally draw up.
yeah, yeah. No kidding. And just the cells that they have to do to make it work is like very time consuming.
Color and then voice to it and make the mouths move.
Yeah.
Not just, and something I heard years ago is that the reason why most cartoon characters and Mickey Mouse specifically, is people are like, why does he doesn't have 5 fingers?
Yeah.
In
Oh, yeah.
cartoons, they don't. And the reason why
Is
is
hard.
because the cartoonist, it was easier to just do 3 fingers.
Well,
than-
because it never looks right, is what I was told. When I was in art class, they said they can't do thumbs. It's either thumbs, I can't remember now, but 4 fingers looks to the eye a lot easier than 5 for whatever reason.
But
So
it's also quicker and easier to just do 3, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a streamlined process to it. They're like, who gives a shit?
well, right, because if you watch any of the G.I. Joe, they don't have 5 fingers.
No, they don't.
So
But they got the kung fu grip.
that's right, they got kung fu grip. So yeah, but it's crazy. So
All right, man.
Yeah, it's about our time to bail out. So
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm sorry I can't.
I should have came put you on video rather than audio. I didn't
That
even,
would have helped.
yeah, maybe.
I didn't realize yeah. In my defense, I tried calling you like 4 hours ago.
Yeah, I know. And I woke up and I said, "Oh shit, that was a half hour before I was supposed to start this thing," and I'm like, because I fell asleep, and I try and do as much sleep as possible. You know, if you go back and watch our show, I'm gonna talk about that stuff. Talk about the health. Well, because I had a busy week with the transplant shit, and this week, so you know, and working and just kicking my ass. So plus I went to the show.
I hope you're doing okay, brother. I'm really glad that you were able to make Ernie's thing last night.
I did not.
People, that's awesome.
I did not drink at all. I planned on drinking, or at least having a drink, and it just never worked out because then I was thinking, well, it's IPA, and then I gotta drive 30 minutes on traffic. This town is on the opposite end, the east side of town, which apparently is not very good. So, but it's just warehouses.
That too was a question I was going to ask you: is how far away from your house was?
Well, it says 20 minutes, but you're crossing different freeways and different this and that, and I don't know where the fuck I'm at. I'm like, you know, I know this place fairly well, and I've never been. Well, at night, I've never been over there that I can remember. Yeah. And this place is just a warehouse converted into a cigar bar, you know, and they're all smoking in there. And I'm like, how is this legal? You know, so I'm like, well, if you guys are going to smoke, then I'm going to smoke because everybody else is smoking. But it separates from the bar from the venue, right? There's a door.
Oh no shit.
So you're not getting into this cigar smell. Plus the venue, even though you can smoke in both, the venue has got a really good ventilation system. So I mean, you couldn't even smell the cigars people were smoking or anything. Nah. So, but it was cool. Small stage, but it was cool.
Yeah, I've seen some of those guys have posted pictures of shows from there that I've seen over the past whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, time last year, so I knew it was a cool place. Like that place looks fucking.
I mean, they got
cool.
They got these seats that are kind of like recliners, but they're not recliners, but they feel like recliners, you know.
I saw that.
And they're cool, you know. And I sitting there and chilling out next to Nick and his wife, you know. Although we didn't know that I was sitting next to Nick until I heard him talking, and I'm like, his voice sounds familiar. And then I'm talking to somebody else, and he's like, "Hey, are you Denny?" And he's like, "I'm like, you're Nick, right?" Because I thought in my head, because I can hear it in my head, right? And he's like, "Yeah." And then I found out he doesn't live too far away from me. So, because I thought when I talked to Ernie that Ernie lives like an hour away from us, right?
Oh, okay.
So when he's talking, he was telling me, you know, he lives here, and I'm thinking, oh shit, you know, you're pretty far away. Well, they actually do it from Nick's house, and Nick's actually like 20 minutes from me. Out, he's out in the freaking. He's got land. He's out in some nice fucking houses areas, you know. So I was like, oh shit, I don't mind. You're going totally opposite. I'm going south Kansas. You know, I know exactly where he's at. I know, you know. I don't have to go downtown. I was thinking I was going to have to go downtown, but I don't. So, because I was saying, because we were talking about, you know, me coming and doing a show with them, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, you know, we'll make something happen. But I was really having my reservations about going downtown at night, you know.
Well, it sounds like me. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I walk away going, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. But now that he tells me where he's at, I'm like, you're closer than I thought. We can go do this. You know, I don't have a problem with it. You know, so. But yeah, I mean, I like those guys. Those guys they're cool. First time I met them, but I feel like I've known them. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, shit. Well, and John, whatnot, I keep telling, I'm like, I feel like I've known you guys forever, and I don't. You know, this is the first show I've been to where I actually knew fucking people. You know what I mean? Because all the other shows, I didn't know anybody. That's the first time I met John. It's the first time I met anybody. You know, any of their shows. So now I go and I no reason why I know Nick and John or Ernie. It's because I've listened to them. I feel like I know them, but I don't really know them. You know what I mean? It's like I met some radio hosts and I know him. And, I've seen him. But no, it was cool.
I think it's funny that you all jumped on as DJs at the same time.
I don't know how that happened. I really don't.
And you all are you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
That,
it is crazy.
that's cool, man.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. And then suddenly, I'm getting to know this, Copper Steel guys and, Stone Eagle guys. I don't know them all, and whatnot. But I guarantee they're all wondering who the fuck I am because I just suddenly appeared to these shows. You know what I mean? And
Well, I think it helps that you actually met John first.
yeah, oh, sure. Well, because they all know that for whatever reason, they knew I interviewed him. Because when I was talking to somebody and they said, yeah, I knew that I seen the interview that you did with John. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, that's cool, So they all want to do something like that. You know what I mean? So, and I'm cool with that. I don't mind. It turned out fairly well. So, I liked it. It could have been better, but whatever.
It ain't your first rodeo.
No. And I like I said, I think they're all trying to figure out who I am. But if they look into it, they're gonna figure it out, So
You can just tell them, hey, yeah, when they talk about BIC, you'd be like, yeah, like that, the Hesher over there, I've known that guy forever.
I do. I tell them that, and they're like, really? I'm like, shit, I know that guy for almost 40 years, man. And Eddie, almost the same thing. He was a kid, but still, I've known him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like and they go, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, apparently, all the difference between them and me is I've moved around quite a bit, and I've done different things rather than, you know what I mean? So,
no, I like that. We kind of like you were going. I told Connie, I was like, yeah, this is my bro for like 40 years. He's playing shit for my birthday, and she's like, oh wow, that's awesome. That's cool. So yeah.
I had fun. I like doing
shit, bro.
I like doing things like that.
Fuck yeah.
This is your life in stereo. That
you put that post up. I didn't even know you did that until I got to Eddie's because we went and had sushi and so we got back. Sushi roll to go. I ate that thing, got stuffed, and I laid down on the couch and took an hour and a half nap. And I fucking got up and told Renee, this was like almost 4. I was like, babe, we gotta go. Let's go. I wanted to help get, stuff in the program music. And I knew Eddie was losing his mind trying to clean shit up. So, and we were there for like 20, 30 minutes. And he's the one that told me you put that post up. So you see that? I was like, what? So yeah, I was actually sitting there like, dude, literally 5 minutes before you went on air. And he told me that, and I went and looked at it, and I was like, holy shit.
And this is your life in stereo. This is your life in stereo. That was hilarious. That was my theme. That was my
That was good, dude. That was, and thank you. I appreciate that.
I could have probably done another hour or two. I really could have. But
well, I was like, oh, because I sat there trying to load music and find whatever we're gonna play for, while he's there. And in the background, you're like, "Yep," and I was like, "Fucking hey." Renee's sitting there. There was nobody in there. It was me and Eddie and Renee, and I sat there trying to find music, and it fucked me up because you're playing this and all this shit, and I'm sitting there just geeking out. It's like, God, I'm looking at Renee spitting out blonde by blood. And she's looking at me, shaking her head, smiling like.
Well, I mean, Grot told me I had a lot of.
The whole time I was like, yeah, fake no more.
Yeah.
Just like,
Like I said, a lot of them are pretty no-brainers, but Grot was telling me that I had quite a bit of listeners, so that was good. And I don't know if that was just a pre-off to you guys or what, but I was like, okay.
Who cares? Dude, it don't matter.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, whatever brings them in, bring them in.
Yeah. I mean, because if it
Yeah,
did, then they kind of listened to what I was playing, so. Yeah. But
all it takes is just, get a few more listeners.
yeah.
And they'll tell their friends, and then they'll tell their friends, and you know what I mean?
Yep, that's true. Yep.
That's,
As
and,
long.
and if they don't like it, go ahead and tune out. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't.
You're right.
Yeah, that's for
I'm not
sure.
here for you.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I feel like I might give 2 more listeners to everyone that don't like it.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say I probably should advertise more, but I just like,
You should.
I'm just
You're
like,
okay.
fuck. I'm just like, I don't want to tag people. It's annoying as fuck. It takes so much time.
You just the ones you know what I mean?
No, what I did was I created a radio group. So
Oh, no
it
shit.
just goes to the people that I know without having to tag them. So,
Gotcha.
It'll go to their feed. And I'm like, cool.
Right.
All right.
No, and so my name's in it, so everything you tag
Right.
goes up
Yeah.
on my shit anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Tony Burton thing I did on my own because I just, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
doing this, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But I usually don't because, and usually if I do something like that, I'll just tag a few. I tag like 60 people, but
Yeah.
those people, it'll come up in their feed, and whoever else they know will find it. I don't need to.
Yeah. That's the way I feel. I don't need to.
Yeah.
And yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I just like playing the music that I play.
Right.
And then Grot will go, hey, I never heard this song. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. And I said, well, that's what I'm here for, Grot. I'm here to inform you.
You're welcome.
So, yeah. So I'm just having fun doing it. So,
I'm glad you're having fun.
yeah.
I'm having fun listening.
I am now that people aren't bitching about my mic. I take my headphone. I can't use my headphones because my headphones, whatever are doing, are causing interference. So
That was the whole change.
yeah, that was my Bluetooth headphones that I put on. Because I was saying
That's fucking weird.
because YouTube it doesn't do anything. It doesn't. I don't have that issue.
That's
So
weird.
so why would I have it on a radio program? So I imagine one of these days I'll probably put on my cans, plug them in and see
Yeah.
if it's the plug or if it's interference from the Bluetooth. But whatever. I don't really care. So
No, just
not anymore.
whatever. It's nice being able to hear your voice. I'm still gonna say this, bro. Speak louder, but I know you. I've known you forever, and I know how you are, and
Yeah.
that's just
Well,
how you speak.
Yeah.
And I know I'm half deaf, so
Yeah. You and me both.
Yeah.
I kind of like
you.
because my volume, I check my volumes and it says I'm okay, but if I'm not, I'm not,
No, dude. Yeah, I'm giving shit. You sound a lot better. My volume is better. I'm sure everybody else is fine with it.
Yeah. Well, nobody said anything to me, so maybe I need more gain.
Maybe it's time for some hearing aids.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Oh, trust me, I've been told that too. So
I've been holding off on that for as long as I can.
well, they got Bluetooth now, so you know you can. They're small. You can fit them anywhere in your ear.
Well, no. What? So I'm holding off until when I do my DOT physical for my fucking license. That's when I'll have to go that route.
Oh yeah.
But as long as I can pass that test, and my vision is not, so I made the proper decision to take a picture of the eye test, and the eye chart has never changed. I
No,
don't know if
it's
you know.
always the same.
Yes. So
You just
I
memorize the
thought-
shit.
yeah, I'm just gonna memorize it. I have pictures. I'm gonna memorize the eye test. And, yeah.
They always
For the
say.
test, for the ear test.
They always say
Okay.
line 6 or line
You know
5.
what's funny? You know what's funny is one of our guys, and he's not an old guy. He's a thin guy. He just had this happen, and he did the same thing. He come in, he was talking about. I was like, "What?" I'm like, yeah. He's like, "Yeah." And I went down to a lower fucking smaller line, and I nailed it. But the one above it that was bigger, I fucked up. He's like, "I did the same thing." I
Yeah.
memorized that shit, but then I fucked up. You know what I mean? You gotta
Yeah.
don't memorize the one that's microscopic.
They usually do the middle is what it is. So
Yeah, just pass.
yeah.
Which is funny because Ernie, you met Ernie, and I was
Yeah.
saying, I know Ernie's a big dude.
He is. I didn't realize how big he was, but he's big. I knew he was big, but I couldn't remember because when I seen him before, because Stone Eagle headlined. Well, and you know what? I didn't even realize this. Okay, so when I did that interview with John in Copper Steel, okay,
Yeah.
so Stone Eagle played first, then Copper Steel played, then Unwritten Rules played, which is Nick's band. That's right. I didn't even know that. I said I seen you guys. I said I probably got pictures of you. I said, but because I took pictures throughout the show, but I only interviewed John, so everybody knew that I interviewed John for Copper Steel. But because that's what the first thing is. Oh, you interviewed John, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I said I seen you, Nick. Where did I seen you? And I said you were at the show, and his wife's like, yeah, he was. All three of them were. I'm like, oh, okay. She had to confirm it because I was like, I know I seen you guys because I talked to my wife because she remembers them back in the day, but they had a different singer, because now they have a female singer. Yeah, they had a female.
Okay, yeah.
Now they have a female singer, so that
Right.
they had a male singer back in the day, so or sometime before. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get going.
All right.
All right. See ya.
Bye. All right. So yeah, it's been